wanted to talk today about what is going on in the market. It's halfway through the year, we're in July, and we want to know what is happening in the housing and real estate market and where do we think it's going to go from here. So nationally, the trend has been to go to a little bit of a cooling off. We are starting to see that nationally, and typically there is a bit of a down spike in activity in July. We do see that locally here too, but we're seeing an uptick in inventory levels, and we're seeing a little bit of a downtick in buyer demand. And so that starts to cool things off at the national level, and it makes things stabilize. So the market is having a little bit of a correction. It's stabilizing into more of a uniform market. It's not a seller's market. Past couple of years, it has been a seller's market. And what creates a seller's market? Let's back up and talk about that for a minute. Over the past several years, we've been in a seller's market, and you're hearing that a lot. And so what exactly does that mean? Well, I always call it Econ 101 if you go back to college and you learn about supply and demand. It's as simple as it gets. The supply is not keeping up with the demand. So the buyers are out looking, they want to buy a house, and there just aren't enough homes on the market to buy. Locally, we are still in a slight seller's market. And I say slight because we are seeing a little cool off. Now, if that's just our usual downturn in activity we see every July, it kind of drops off after the 4th of July and it picks back up in August, we'll be tracking that. But we are seeing prices hold. We are still having a lot of buyer demand. And one of the things that's unique about our area is that we are an area that's high in demand. We're fairly insular for some of the national things because we have a lot of government. We're close to the nation's capital. We are the capital of Maryland. So we have a lot of government. We have military with our United States Naval Academy. And so with that, we have typically seen a little bit of insulation from what's going on in the rest of the market. We're seeing a little bit of a slight slowing down in our showings and our new contracts. Although this past week picked up over the week prior, our numbers are trending a little bit of a slowdown from last year's activity. However, our inventory levels are still a little bit lower. They're not ticking up as high as the national levels are. So we're still seeing that supply and demand here in Annapolis, Maryland, and Anne Arundel County at large. Our numbers from this year over last year, our prices are up. So 6% of an average sales price over 2023 in Anne Arundel County. And we're seeing days on the market. That's another data point we really like to look at with our sellers. You know, what is the sales price and what is the days on the market? So we'll be looking at that, and that is slightly down 4% from 2023. And then another key metric that's really interesting to me, I find that I discuss with my sellers, is average sales price to list price ratio. What did the house originally get listed for, and what's the ratio of what it sold for? And that is just slightly up, not quite a percent. It's about a 0.7% that it's up over last year. So, you know, sellers need to be smart. They need to strategize with their realtor. They need to look at all these key data points. Sure, watch the national trends. Is your area moving towards that national trend? What's unique about your area? You know, we're also a tourist-driven area. People come here, they never want to leave. It's a highly desired area. It's a charming coastal town with beautiful waterfronts, an historic district, big, gorgeous homes, lots of variation. We have condos, we have townhouses. It's just a very desired place to live. You're equidistant between Baltimore and Washington, so you could get to both of those cities quickly. So we have high buyer demand, and we kind of always do. But what is driving the market, and what is stabilizing the market, and is that going to happen here? Buyer demand and inventory levels. Watch those numbers.